Oh, hey. Did I just turn this on? Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, I guess I did. I was in the midst of playing with my dog a little bit, trying to, keep him calm and mellow. And, it's a social game, and I don't really want to force my dog to be mellow. But if he hits the right cues, he will mellow out. So he did. And I'm drinking out of my beautiful fucking cup here. Okay? My beautiful fucking cup. My chalice, or I don't know, medieval goblet, if you will. If you will serve a purpose, you may join the Octagonal Club and buy one of these on Amazon. They're pretty easy to find. Just look for medieval goblets until you find this one. This one's really cool. I like the dragon. I'm not a big dragon medieval, kind of warlock myself. But yeah, I've hit many different time zones for experimentation reasons and examined them and stuff like that. And yeah, so people call it astral body travel or whatever. I don't. I just think it's a natural thing. Now, it doesn't mean I go to sleep at night and do this shit and remember it. But somehow or another, my human mind has retained interesting facts about history that a lot of people had not known, may not know right now. And one of them is, and I believe this to be the case, I just don't think they have found evidence to prove it, but it's pretty simple. A lot of primitive societies that lived in colder environments and stuff, they realized that the campfire was localized. All the heat from it was localized. They could figure that much out. All right. So when they started figuring out that rocks heat up, obviously they started using hot rocks. And that's probably how they did it. For the most part, they would just heat up hot rocks and bring them in their tent, or their teepee or whatever, their cave or whatever, and just drop them all over the place and drop coals on them and keep them hot. Okay. But truth of the matter is, I have a feeling that there's probably some societies out there that were primitive. And when I say that, I mean terraform primitive, and I mean let out loose on Earth without a lot of information. And, they kind of, immediately were cavemen at that point because they didn't know what to do. So, they had to figure everything out slowly but surely. So what happened was, eventually they figured some things out. Like if you bury the rocks under your camp and you have various campfires in your camp, you use every one of those campfires for, general heating and stuff. But then like to heat your hut or your cave or whatever, you would have those heated rocks under the ground there, and you would there'd be a way to implant fuel down there, so you could light underground fires, and the smoke would be have to go somewhere else because it's underground, so you would vent it. And these cavemen probably had really well heated caves, and when they did finally start building their own structures and whatnot, I'm sure they'd use the same technology. So when you hear these scientists come through and they say, no, there's no evidence, or there is nobody that's coming out and saying they found evidence like that. But it would be not hard to excavate a lot of dirt, put rocks in there, kind of like a coil to keep everything in camp warm, the ground included. So why wouldn't they do that? So if scientists aren't finding evidence of that, that would lead me to believe that these people that are, that were like that, and they're only picking certain ones to talk about, like the ones that acted more like cavemen, the ones that acted more like this, or the ones that acted more like that. But in my opinion, there's probably a segment of, primitive man that, was using extremely advanced techniques to keep their camps warm. Because otherwise, how else did we survive through that? Ice Age and stuff like that. And, they say, they carried the heat wherever they went. Okay, that makes enough sense to, keep you alive. But to keep the entire camp warm, you have to have all those fucking, sure, you can, there was a way to, to basically keep body temperature heat in a structure, but most of them were living out of caves. So, the body heat would escape, everything would escape. So my theory is this, that, academia or what you learn in school books and shit about caveman, primitive man, it's not really factually based. In most of those cases, those people probably have practices that were of high technology that no one even has a clue about. And they don't want you to know that. They would prefer you to think they were straight up cave dwellers, but in reality, they were probably dropped off and left to fend for themselves and from another space colony or whatnot. And, and they did that in various places on Earth. They dumped them. And then they just were like, now China's probably the main dump spot. If you were to like say, oh, where's the main dump area? China. China was the main dump area. Okay, originally that particular kind of human being was very important at one time. So they started out with Chinese. And then later, they started putting other kinds of creations down there, or, humans, if you will, different kinds of humans that were a little more, maybe they were not necessarily more advanced, but definitely had their perks. I think Caucasians have a interesting perk, a couple of perks to them, but then other races also have certain perks to them. So like that's why a lot of black people play basketball, because if they retain the quality of their anatomy, the calf muscle is going to help them jump and whatnot. So I just they don't want you to know that this is an artificial process. That's not evolution. It was a dumping area. At one time, even Africa had white people and white tribes. Before even Africans were known to live in the particular areas, there was already white folks living there. They don't want you to know all that shit, but there was. And so at one time, even Africa had some white people dumped in there. That's what I look at it like. A Starfleet came by, no different than like Battlestar Galactica. But the problem is they had a good cargo full of humans. At the time, yes, anyone would say, oh, yeah, slaves. They're going to Earth. They're going to populate Earth, those things. And then they get a lot more freedom that way. But, so that's the way I look at it. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I look at it like this. It's just an ongoing process. The evolution has been faked because the animals had to be tested. Like dinosaurs, certain kinds of dinosaurs to feed on certain kind of plants, and they had to make it look like evolution was taking place, so that if we were to look into it, it would seem like, oh yeah, all these fossilized things are naturally fossilized, and in reality, they were artificially fossilized. And but there are places in the universe that do evolve. There is evolution can take place, but it didn't take place here naturally. That's what I'm saying. So they had to make it and fake it. So that the humans don't get too smart too quick, and we'll download a dumb down into their brains so they won't get too advanced anyway. But just in case, as a safety precaution. But some of us do and are advanced. And I'm drinking my Medicaid coffee in here. Tastes so fucking good. Actually, it doesn't taste that good. It tastes like medication, I mean, I got literally wild lettuce leaf in this fucking shit. It don't taste good. But anyway, it's for, pain relief. It's for pain relief. And there's a couple people out there that need it. So I'm testing it out second time. I think the first time I recognized and I could tell it was working. But, I'm doing it a second time to see if I can notice it again. And if that happens again, I notice it and it's a better, or maybe because I put a little more in the coffee, we'll see what's up. I'm just testing it. I want to see, because I honestly, I don't like to take anything unusual for pain relief. I would rather take something that's just a herb or something like this. It doesn't taste good. Somebody said smoke it and you'll be better off, but it doesn't matter, because if you smoke it, you're not going to smoke as much as you can make in a tea form or liquid base. So I just edible. That's the only way I want to do it. It doesn't taste good smoking. It doesn't taste good in general. So, but you have to drink it to test it. So that's what I'm doing. And when you heat liquid up like tea, obviously it's going to release a lot of the effective substances in it that will, so it won't get stuck. It won't stay all in the leaf, but it is the sap. of the plant. So if you can get the sap extracted and I guess get a concentrate of wild lettuce leaf, you'll be better off. In the meantime, I'm just sitting here and my dog, he's going shit crazy right now. Yeah, buddy. Oh. Yeah, big doggy. Ah, he's a big doggy. Ah. 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 What you doing, buddy? What you doing? Ah. What you doing, buddy? And see, now that's a happy dog there. No one can say my dog ain't happy, bro. He's got a little anxiety right now because he needs to get a walk, but that will happen very shortly. Yeah. Okay, that's enough. All right. Yeah. I like to growl with him. He loves me when I growl. Or make freaky noises. Don't fall, 5. Hey, don't fall. All right, good boy. Good boy. Good mock attack. 5. 5 knows you're on. All right, it's enough. 5. 5. He's too excited. All right, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Now, where's your ball? Get your ball. You beat me up. Go get your ball. Where's your ball? Yeah, I'll let him get rough like that, guys, because I don't want a dog that I control. You know, I let him get a little rough with me. Sometimes he bites a little hard, and I don't care. I'll put my face right up to him. He'll stop. So, and anyway, so this video is about, hey, man, I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm never going to be believed. I'm way there, out there, and I definitely don't listen to mainstream bullshit. And here I am doing my own thing, and I'm a warlock. I'm a fucking warlock to boot, all right, bitch? I'm a fucking warlock. Don't fuck with me. I'm a fucking warlock, and I'm not a goddamn servant of a live stream either, although maybe in the future.